Professor Fred Benu, who is going to speak about the co-firing system for power plants in Timor Island and the effort to support the renewable energy development program of NTT, who is going to speak about the province Indonesia for power plants in Timor Island and the effort to support the renewable energy development program of NTT, who is going to...
Thank you. Before I move to the new issue, something more empirical issue that have to be delivered in this forum. I just want to say something. Before I move to the new issue, reverse to the statement made by my lovely senior friend, Professor Willy Tozuta. Have to be delivered in this forum. He's not only was the director of the Satavicana University, but also, if I'm not wrong, he was the special staff of Prime Minister of this country for the issue of education development, if I'm not wrong. But correct me if I'm wrong. So I just realized that when he made a statement that if you try to find any specific independent countries at the same island at the global map, you cannot find that specific two independent countries at the same lovely island like what you can find in Timor Island. So when I got the invitation from the acting rector of UNTL, Professor Samuel Freitas, I just realized that I come here, when I come here, just come to my second lovely country of Timor-Leste. I just to thank you. And I'm happy when I hear from my friend, Pa Edmundo, when he mentioned that we should collaborate to improve our capacity, to have a look at our potential, all the resources in this island, the specific dryland island, and to try to collaborate to improve our capacity as the people live and stay in the higher education system in both countries, especially in West and East country. I also have to emphasize some issue when Professor Willy Tozuta mentioned about the collaboration to improve our important issue, something like renewable energy. Prof. Willy just mentioned that one. And also how to develop a cutting skill to solve the existing problem. So we can create job, and we need a collaboration, a good collaboration between West Timor and East Timor, between all the universities in Indonesia, especially in West Timor and also in East Timor. I think that's a good one. So after we join the special speech talking about something more specific about concept and policy to develop education system in both region, West and East Timor, try to move a little bit more empirical issue, talking about co-firing system for power plant in Timor Island. So we can have a look, a good example, how we use our resources in the dry land of Timor as a contribution to renewable energy, especially in West Timor, in my province of NTT. Could you please, someone just put my slide on the screen? Pa Pedro, I'm coming here, I'm happy because I know many of you here. Pa Pedro here, Alfonso here, and also Aurelio. Where is Professor Aurelio? Is he join us here? This morning, okay. So we know each other, so that is why I say that I'm coming here, something like I come to my second lovely country of Timor. But I didn't say that is the special lovely country of West Timor, only East Timor and Indonesia. Could you please put my slide, please? And when I go a little bit more detailed, yes, good, put in a full screen. Yes, that one. Co-firing system for power plant in Timor Island. An effort to support the renewable energy development program of NTT Province of Indonesia. Prof. Willy, especially I concern this issue when both of us become the special staff of the governor, the previous governor of East Nusa Tenggara Province, and the governor, Pak Victor Laskodat, asked me to have a look the power plant system supporting by our potential of the co-firing system that has been established just 2 years, the last 2 years. And this presentation should come from our research conducted by my team and Professor, my Vice Rector for Cooperation Affairs, just allow me to represent the team, and he is one of the members of our research team, to present this issue. So maybe you can have a look our experience, scientific experience, deal with the problem of renewable energy in West Timor and how we solve that problem. Okay, next slide. We already understand some issue about the global warming, and we already moved from the Paris Agreement come to Conference of the Parties 27 have been decided, and also Conference of the Party 2026 before. Based on that commitment, Indonesia already established some energy transition. We established in 2022. And also we have an energy sector roadmap to the net zero emission in Indonesia. That is why, based on the national commitment of the renewable energy, as a commitment of Indonesia to reduce the global temperature, next slide please. Based on our national regulation law number 16, 2016, Indonesia established what we call a strategic implementation of national determined contribution to reduce global temperature less than 2 degrees of Celsius. Under the national law, we have a commitment to reduce 20% of greenhouse gas emission target unconditional and 45% greenhouse gas emission target conditional. Based on that regulation, you know that, next slide please. The Conference of the Party 26 in Glasgow tried to focus on urgent climate action and global warming target. Why that one? Because the conference set more ambitious target for 2030 to combat climate change effectively. And Indonesia has what we call as Indonesian National Determined Contribution, aligned with a long-term climate goal and legal framework. When Professor Willy Toisuta was the special staff of the governor of East Nusa Tenggara Province, I also be part of the team. The regional government of NTT also has established NTT Province Regional Regulation emphasis development of the new renewable energy from 2009 till 2015. Next slide, please. Just have a look Indonesia energy mix projection. There are a couple of projections at the national level, but one thing that I want to emphasize is the projection at the national level of Indonesia of the implementation of biomass of co-firing system in Indonesia. And NTT has been decided as one of the target of the biomass co-firing system for the development of renewable energy. Next slide, please. Have a look this one. Prof. Willy also know this one. We established there are 3 big islands in East Nusa Tenggara Province. Sumba Island up there, Timor Island, Flores Island up there, Timor Island, and Sumba Island. At the national level, even, we have decided the national regulation based on the ministry decree of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, number 2068, 2017, established Flores as the Flores geothermal island. Prof. Jeffrey also involved in this how we call it, the document. Okay, thank you. The document established the, how we call the strategy to, for the energy supply in East Nusa Tenggara province at the regional level. Sumba also has been decided at the national level based on the Ministry Decree number 3051, 2015 as Sumba Iconic Island, mentioned it one. That is our commitment to reduce the greenhouse emission at the national level and also based on the Paris Agreement. So we already make some how we call ratification at the national, even at the regional level of our province entity. And Timor, even we haven't got any approval from the national level, at the national level for any regulation, but we already move forward compared to the Sumba Island, and we will talk about this one later, Flores Geothermal Island. Be careful, I think many of us realize that this issue has been challenged by the leader of the Catholic Church. Prof. Willie knows that one. And the previous vice governor also made the statement when the church, the Catholic Church, make a challenge for this project, Flores Geothermal Island. Not because of the church doesn't agree with the idea to exploit the potential of geothermal in that island, but the Catholic Church just criticize the technology that has been used to utilize the potential of the geothermal island. Because for the time being, we just use the technology coming from China. And there is something problem with the technology. When you dig the hole in one spot and you cannot identify the precise spot that you have to dig, and you move to another hole, dig another hole, and the gas will come out by automatically. So the gas, you can find the gas around the spot, and it will create disaster for the local people. A couple of years ago, I went there, and I tried to have a look at the negative impact of the technology that we have used, using the technology coming from China. According to our vice governor, by Joseph Naisoy, the most precise technology that you have to use to identify the potential of geothermal should come from Israel. But the problem, we don't have political connection with Israel, Prof. Willie. So how to solve that problem? Actually, the Catholic Church really support our policy to utilize the potential of geothermal in Flores Island. But the problem is the technology is not precise to be used when you take the technology from China. Should come from Israel. I think easy to be solved for me. Bring the technology from Israel, but put the label coming from Italy or coming from Timor-Leste and say, we can solve the problem. Why we have to be worried about that one? That's all. So I just want to, you guys just understand the situation in my province, in our province. Okay, we move to this one, Timor Biomass Island. We have done a lot of things, Undana, in collaboration with some parties. Prof. Willie just mentioned the collaboration issue. Not only, and he just mentioned that maybe 20% of our knowledge maybe only come from the class, and another 20% from the culture, and another 70% based on our experience, including the collaboration among all the parties. So I just want to explain our good experience in Timor Island. Next slide, please. Have a look at the potential of East Nusa Tenggara province. Entity, we call entity, is an area with the best solar irradiation. If you have a look all around Indonesia, we have to use that one as a commitment at the national level to reduce greenhouse emission, including Sumba, here, and Timor Island. Compared to another island, you see, our irradiation is the best one at the national level. So we have to utilize that one, explore that one, exploit that results. And I think some investor already invest, and I think we just need what we call at the final level, what we call as purchasing price agreement with PLN. PLN is, you know, the power supply company of Indonesia, a state power supply company. So we have to make an agreement with PLN to utilize the potential. This is Timor Island. But I don't want to talk about irradiation. I will talk about the biomass. Have a look at the geothermal island. Next slide, please. Next slide. This one, you can see all the potential location of geothermal work area in entity. You can see a lot of spots of geothermal. Only 2 spots that have been, how we call existing operating. The first one in Ulumbu. Where is that? This one existing. In Ulumbu, Provili. I think you went there last time. And also in Mataloco. Where is Mataloco? Where Mataloco here? Only the existing operating that we already exploit and how we call utilize the potential of geothermal. But still, now we are facing the challenge by the Catholic Church. Be careful with that one. Because you know that it's not easy to solve that problem when the church stand in the front of you, then mention, be careful. Use the precise technology coming from Israel. I should say like that one. Next slide. This is the map of ocean current of entity. You don't need to have a look more detail. I just want to show you. Next slide, please. And now, Pak Jeffrey, I move to this one, the result of our research. Timor Island as a biomass resources, including Timor-Leste. Timor Island is identified as critical source of biomass renewable energy to meet entity energy mix target as a commitment of renewable energy. I also put here the collaboration in full provincial government, university, Undana, the national state of the power plant, and the community to enhance biomass energy development. And we talk about the specific vegetation in Timor Island that you can use. You cannot use all the vegetation in Timor Island. We just identified a specific vegetation exists in dry land. We call it as Lamtoro. Pat Edmundo, I think you know Lamtoro. We call in Latin name Leucenia, Leucosepala, Lamtoro, Leucenia. Develop Lamtoro vegetated energy forest aims to producing biomass as a coal substitution material. So we reduce the coal and replace, substitute with the biomass coming from the technology that we create from biomass of Lamtoro. We just consider this one as a specific one, not any other vegetation. Why? There are 2 reasons. The first one, this vegetation has a good natural recovery. When you cut the trees of Lamtoro with the specific method, maybe 1.5 meters above the land, you just need maybe 4 or 5 months for a fully natural recovery of the vegetation, but not for other vegetation. That is why we concentrate only on Lamtoro. And right now, Prof. Jeffrey just identified the combination of the Lamtoro with Gamal, Gliricidia. Pak Edmundo know Gamal. There's 2 kinds of vegetation still under research in laboratory. Prof. Jeffrey just ran that one to identify what is the combination, a good combination between Lamtoro and Gamal, so it can create a good color to substitute coal in the power plant. Okay. In 2024, the biomass production unit has successfully substituted 5% of coal in the coal-firing process at Bolok power plant already in 2024. That is a huge contribution from Undana for the commitment of renewable energy program in entity. And even we are the best in Indonesia for this process, biomass co-firing system. The Bolok power plant is a primary facility implementing biomass co-firing to reduce coal dependency and the commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emission. And I think if we identify the same vegetation in East Timor, I think we can identify a lot of lam toro in East Timor. I don't know, maybe Pa Edmundo and the other will let us know about that one. Okay, next slide, please. This is the collaboration between Undana, government, that PLN is a commitment to reduce greenhouse emissions. You see that lam toro usually, for the time being, only be used for community for the animal feed, forage. And the rest of brands, they just leave it for nothing. So we use the brands that had been cut by the local community for animal feed, we use to produce what we call wood chip as a substitution of coal in the power plant in Bolok. I think the only coal-firing power plant unit in Timor Island, including East Timor and West Timor, only one in Bolok. I don't know about your power plant here, but suppose that it is fully coal power plant system, not co-firing. We can use the new technology, where you can bring the technology from somewhere, collaboration between, not collaboration, but substitution coal system in power plant with a co-firing system with our specific local vegetation in the dry land of Timor. Okay? So why we use that one? Because calorific value of lam toro roughly 4,000, not 400, sorry, Prof. Jeffrey, 4,000 calories per kilogram. Relatively short growth cycle. The community knows multifunction, available and sufficient quantity, renewable energy program. This is the program. When we already substitute, already 2% in 2024 actually, and our target in 2025 is 5%. If 5%, we can supply 16.65 megawatt per unit. And we need roughly 534 ton biomass per month per unit. For 2 units, we need 1,264 hectares for 2 units of power plant, co-firing power plant system. One existing in Bolok and another one in Atambua. And I know that we need 1,260 already have, have a look at the condition in West Timor of co-firing system. This one. Okay, next slide, please. This is based on the analysis made by Professor Jeffrey. You see, proximate analysis of coal and biomass. This is, that moisture content. The moisture content of the coal, this one is the mixture of biomass and coal. This is a volatile matter content. You can have a look at that one. The mixture also, this is a fully coal, the coal that has been used, fully 100% used coal in the power plant, and this is mixture between coal and biomass produced from lam toro. This is ash content, and this is the carbon content. Next slide, please. I almost finished. Next slide. This is the ultimate analysis of coal and biomass. This is carbon content. And also carbon content, you can have a look, this one. The carbon content for the blend between coal and biomass from lam toro. And hydrogen content. This one, nitrogen content, oxygen content, etc., etc. This is based on our analysis, our research team analysis, and Prof. Jeffrey just analyzed that one. And you can see that the comparison between 100% coal and the combination between 55% coal and 5% biomass from Lamtoro, you can have the difference and the comparison. Next slide, please. This is the calorific value comparison. Highest caloric value for coal, 4,593 kilocalorie per kilogram, and the simulation 55% and 5% combination between coal and the biomass of Lamtoro, 4,542 kilocalorie per kilogram. You can have it. Not too different between coal and biomass from, how we call that one? That Lamtoro. All that one. Even Prof. Jeffy already converted calorific value to what we call is BTU per pound. BTU is the indicator of the efficiency of energy. The heat that need to increase the temperature of 1% Fahrenheit. This one, BTU. So you can see that full 100% of coal is better than combination. But we can use that one as a commitment to reduce greenhouse emission. Next slide, please. We also come to the economic analysis. If you finish, just let me know. I almost finished. Still 2 slides. EVA calculation. EVA is the analysis provide insight into the effectiveness of management decision in enhancing of company value through efficiency cost management. Have a look at this one. This is the result of our economic analysis if you come run the business of coal-firing in East Timor. You can see, EVA is a positive. You can see, this is, you see, 606 million IDR per year. This positive EVA indicate that the company, this is the company we collaborate, PT Timor Bioenergy, is successfully creating value beyond its cost. We move to the total operating cost. The indication used that this figure represent the company overall earning before the tax. You see that one? Yeah, the profit. And the last one, tax paid. You can see the number of tax paid. The tax amount illustrates the company contribution to the local economy and its commitment to fulfill all the fiscal regulation. So that is the prospect. When we come to our knowledge base, I'm not an expert in that one, Prof. Willie. I'm an economist and my background in agriculture. But by collaborating with some other experts, including Prof. Jeffrey and some other experts in Undana and also from PEL, and we can create something profitable. We can solve the problem that Prof. Willie just mentioned in his presentation before. Okay? But one thing that I have to emphasize is one. Quote from the newspaper. Australia became the first major economic worldwide to reverse itself on its renewable classification for woody biomass burned to make energy. We have to be careful that one. Under the national new policy of Australia, wood harvested from native forests and burned to produce energy cannot be classified as a renewable energy source. But I don't need to worry about that one because I use a specific vegetation located in dry land of Timor with some advantage of the short life cycle, need only 4 or 5 months. And you, if you really want to use these resources, use the precise method and the system. You cannot cut the trees just above the land. No, should be 1.5 meters above the land, the first one. And the system, we call in Indonesia, burrow cutting system. So you just cut in one spot and move to another spot there, and move to another spot there, and move back to the first spot. It will need maybe 20 years. But actually, we just need 5 months for fully recovery the vegetation. That is the technology, the concept that we introduced for this system. Okay? Last one. Join us in enhancing biomass energy solution for a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Fred Menu. It's very inspiring. And while waiting for the last